Hello guys, and welcome to this video. Juno is with us today, and in this video I just wanted to kind of show you guys how I do like a moon ritual on July 9th, so tomorrow. I think, yeah. The new moon is going to be in Cancer, and I always do at least like a little intention setting. You don't have to do anything like crazy, but I do believe that it's good to always have an intention set, especially as frequent as the phases of the moon. So during the new moon, that's basically when seeds are planted, if that makes sense. That's when you start to manifest things or think about things that you want to happen in your life, things that you want to basically blossom. So this is the time that you're planting seeds for specific things. So because the new moon is in Cancer, Cancer kind of rules the homestead, your relationships, your close connections, and so it's a great time to think about what you want to bring to fruition or what seeds you want to plant in your close relationships and your connections or in the homestead. And for example, if the new moon was in Capricorn, Capricorn kind of rules like the business, kind of entrepreneurial side of things. So you could use that to figure out what seeds you want to plant in your business, for example. But since it is in Cancer, and you can do really any intentions, but I feel like it's really supporting the energy of new relationships, the homestead. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but that is so loud outside. So I just do a few things. Of course, I don't like have all my stuff here. This is just kind of like my coffee table where I have like my stones, I have my sage, I have, you know, a couple oils and candles and stuff. So this is where I mostly do the kind of like ritual work, or at least intention setting. And sometimes I go like all in and do like a whole thing, and I'll write certain things down and then I'll go like burn it under the full moon and stuff, or the new moon. But sometimes it's really just about setting an intention, and I think that's all we really need to do, because intention is everything. You don't have to be into, you know, these certain practices to get anything out of it. It's just you setting an intention. It's like what we do at the end of every year, right? Like, okay, new year, new me, we're gonna do this, and then this is my intention for the new year. But instead of waiting until the end of the year, we should be creating intentions all the time and goals all the time and reevaluating how things are going and what we want to change in our life. I think that's something that we should always be doing. Even every day, you should start your day with an intention. So this doesn't have to be like anything like witchy. I just really love creating intentions and staying focused on things that I want to kind of plant in my life, like plant these seeds. And especially since it's the new moon, that's the perfect time for planting seeds. Full moon is when things come to fruition. That's said to be where what you place now in the new moon, what you intend to happen during the full moon, that's when they actually manifest or come to completion. And so during the new moon, hi Juno, that's when you want to manifest new things, and during the full moon, that's when you want to see what you want to end, or what cycles you want to finish. So it's two completely opposite practices there. And so for the new moon, I will always write on a piece of paper like everything that I want to start creating in my life. Maybe it's more income, maybe it's more, and since this does have to do with like the homestead, you can absolutely do like financial security. How do you want your closest relationships to go? How are the boundaries in your closest relationships, and what would you change? I mean, this is the time to dive into what you really desire out of life, and especially since it's in Cancer, specifically in your relationships and in your home, right? Cancer is like the mother of the zodiac, so it has that really loving, comforting, like grounding energy. And it really has to do a lot with how things are at home. So that could be like multiple different things. So I'll just write a paper about the things that I truly desire. Not what other people want me to do, not what I think I should want, but what I truly desire. And again, it could be anything, or you could follow the energy of the specific zodiac based on what zodiac the moon is in at that time. And you can set in different intentions and do different practices for literally any phase of the moon, which I think is really cool. I wanted to show you guys this book. I know it looks backwards in this, but it's called Moon Spells by Diane Alquist, and it says how to use the phases of the moon to get what you want. And there is like, this book is so cool. It goes into like even the scents and like the essential oils for like health, love, career, job, business, spirituality, and like, so you could create your own little like ritual out of all of these different tools, and even like days of the week. There's certain days of the week that are best for different things, same with colors and oils, and it's not something that you like have to believe in. I mean, your belief is everything, so you could believe something completely opposite and that will work in your favor, because our beliefs create our reality. But it's just kind of fun, and I think it's something artistic that I like to do. And it gives me something to look forward to, you know, when it's the new moon or the full moon, or even like the waning gibbous or waxing gibbous or crescent. Like, there's always something new to do, depending on what day of the week it is, what phase of the moon it is, like what freaking color I'm wearing, like whatever. We can do whatever we want. We're free human beings. But this is just something that is kind of fun to do sometimes. So I'll light some incense, I'll light some candles, I love sage just because it smells so good. And I'll just like set the vibe, you know, just set the vibe. Sometimes I'll pull cards just because like I love when I'm focusing on something or I ask a question and it's like affirming what I already knew. It's like the universe saying like, I meant what I said, kind of thing. So I kind of create a whole practice out of it. But again, you can just write down your intentions on like a notebook or a piece of paper in the notebook or something. But this book is super, super fun and really interesting to read, and you can kind of figure out what sounds good, what looks good, what feels good to you, and create your own practice out of it. But so for the new moon, I will write down everything that I want to create or bring to fruition, and then I just close my eyes and I really, really focus on that and focus on what it feels like, because what we focus on, the beliefs that we have, the thoughts that we think, the feelings that we feel create our reality. And so it's a really good time to check in during these times to reevaluate like how we're thinking, what we're believing, what we're feeling. And it doesn't just have to be on like the full moon or the new moon. You could do this literally every day to change your life. And this is literally reprogramming your brain to live the life that you want to. If we have a goal, but we never think about it, we never take action on it, we never feel what it feels like to have it, we never do anything, like, then it's kind of just a stagnant goal and it doesn't do anything. So this is kind of just to check in with how you're feeling and what you're kind of moving towards. And yeah, it's super, super fun. Mostly on the full moon, I'll go out and like burn the paper, because that's like releasing things. Especially the full moon is like ending cycles and finishing things coming to completion. So a lot of the time, like when I write down what I want to complete or what I'm ready to release, like the full moon is for releasing, the new moon is for like planting, and at least that's how I use it. So usually for the full moon, I will go and burn the paper, because those are things I'm releasing, right? So I don't want to just write down, oh, I want to get rid of my anxiety or like my financial struggles or like this person in my life, and then just keep it, because then I feel like the energy's still on the paper or like in the paper, if that makes sense. I have speaking of desires, I have a desire alarm on my phone to go off like every couple hours, and that's when I tap into my desires, so what I'm actually desiring, and I'll feel it. So since that went off while I'm making this video, feel free to tap into your desires. What are you desiring right now? What do you want to experience today? What do you want to feel? What's something that you want to create in your life today, tomorrow, this week, that you can look forward to, and really just tap into that desire? I just wanted to let you guys know because my alarm went off. So I will write down my thing that I'm creating for the new moon, what I'm kind of bringing into my life, or what changes I want to see in my life. And again, if that's all you want to do, then that's super cool. Sometimes I do a lot, sometimes I don't. But I just wanted to check in with you guys to let you know that that's something fun that you could do. You can also light your favorite candles and kind of just create like a really sacred space for yourself. You could journal out, like you can do scripting, which is what I really like to do as well. So instead of just writing like, oh, I want this to happen, or I want the new moon to bring this energy into my life, or I want this to be created in my life, you could also write down, like script it in present tense, if that makes sense. So like, oh my gosh, well, you don't have to say that on your paper. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy and grateful that this happened. It finally happened. I'm making this much a month, or my relationship is really amazing with this person, or this came into my life. Like, you could do anything, but it's all about experiencing it in the moment. Because if we're always like, oh, I'll be happy when this happens, or I will get $10,000 or whatever, like, we're always putting what we want in the future, and it's not really, I don't feel like it's really going to happen if we always do that, because time is non-linear. So if in the present moment we are always putting our desires into the future, then in every single present moment our desires will be in the future. I hope that makes sense. So it's all about feeling them in the now and programming your brain to be that person now that has those desires, right? Because your brain always wants to basically prove itself that it's right. So if you become the person that says you make like 5K months or something, or you have a really beautiful, fun relationship, then your brain is going to look for evidence that that's actually true. And that's how our life changes, is because we can reprogram our brain by becoming the person that is living the life that we want, right? Like for my Washington trip, like, what are the values of my Washington self? What are the hobbies that I have? What are the talents that I have? Or what are the things that I like to do throughout the day? What time do I wake up? You know, what time does my Washington self wake up? And I basically wanted to get really, really clear on that person so I can create a roadmap to start becoming her now and living that life now. So that's basically what scripting is. So I will write down my desires on a piece of paper, and then I will script out already having them and really tune into like what that feels like. And then I'll kind of just like close my eyes and tune in and meditate on it, because you'd be surprised at how convincing you can make it when you actually close your eyes and you really feel it and you see everything in your brain actually happening, you know, like everything in your mind actually happening, and your brain can't tell the difference between something that you're imagining, something that you're dreaming about, or something that's actually happening. So visualization with emotion, that is very important, with emotion, is the way to reprogram your brain and actually convince your brain, oh my gosh, we actually have this. So feel free to do this around, you know, the Cancer new moon on July 9th, so I think tomorrow. But again, you can do this literally every single day if you want to. There's no rules against it. But I think it's always good to tap into your desires and your intentions. And even my desires alarm went off, so I thought that I would, you know, let you guys know that you can create the life you want, but you gotta become that person. You gotta think like that person. You gotta feel like that person. And I feel like the new moon and the full moon and whenever else you want to do this is a great time to kind of check in. And I think a lot of people use the full moon and the new moon because it's consistent, right? It's not like once a year where we tap into our goal and then we like forget about it because that's the only time we ever thought about it. Like every phase of the moon, like it's cool because it gives us consistency on reevaluating our goals and our desires. And it's like a yearly thing, not a yearly thing, but like we can do it throughout the year, and that becomes not just like a tradition at the end of the year, but that's the person that we are, the person that we're being consistently, as someone who taps into these desires, feels what they want, works towards what they want, sets goals, you know. And so I think that the phases of the moon are just a way to kind of support that. But I will start making videos probably on like full rituals when I do them, just so I can show you guys like how it actually looks when I'm doing a ritual. I just wanted to kind of make a video and talk about it, and I would love to hear about what you guys do for intention setting, whether it's around the phases of the moon or not. I would love to hear about it and see what you guys have to say. and maybe we can learn something from each other. I think this is just like an artistic kind of creative practice, and I'm always interested in adding new things to my practice, and it's always different. That's the thing. I don't have like a set in practice. It's just kind of like whatever I feel like doing at the time, right? And so I don't even know what I'm going to be doing exactly for the new moon. It might be exactly what I told you here. It might be something completely different, but I thought that I would just make a video to let you guys know, hey, Cancer, new moon is coming. What are you doing? Here's what I may be doing, or here's how to actually do a very simple ritual for intention setting. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing day today. Happy July 8th. Forgot what day it is. Is it Thursday? Thursday, I'm pretty sure. Well, let me know what you guys are doing for your rituals, or yeah, what your intention practices are, and I would love to hear them. As always, guys, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.